Busloads of students, hundreds of friends and colleagues, more than 1,500 people filled the mosque, and hundreds more prayed outside.
He was inspiring, and he was like a role model to me.
Abshir Hassan grew up in Lawrence Heights, where he later started teaching and ran programs for underprivileged kids.
He was committed to young people who deserve to have equal opportunities, having those opportunities. As a mentor, you know, he's done more in his 31 years than many people do in their whole life, but he was just getting started.
But the neighborhood Hassan worked so hard to change became the backdrop of his tragic death. Principal David DeBell says violence is an unfortunate reality in Lawrence Heights.
Many of them will sleep in the basement to avoid any stray bullets coming through their children's windows. And I still have a bullet hole in the window of one of my classrooms.
In his janaza, Imam Muhammad Ali, visiting from the UK, said the youth used to look up to Abshir. He died not only in our community, but in all communities in Toronto.
He used to be my supply teacher.
There were tears and embraces as Hassan's casket was carried out. Students remember him as a positive force.
He was helping me with my anger. Like, from now I know that I have to keep my education comes before anything, so I have to make sure that keeping my anger calm.
Hassan's colleagues say his positive outlook touched everyone, and his death, while tragic, may bring positive change to the neighborhood he called home.
We're looking to honor him every day as a person that, you know, stood tall in the community, was one of the pillars of the community. And it's a senseless loss, but I'm looking to gain something from this.
Friends and colleagues want Abshir Hassan's legacy to live on through a scholarship they're setting up in his name. Reporting live from Lawrence Heights Community Center, I'm Lucy Lopez.
There is no motive. There have been no arrests, but 3 people were shot, one of them killed, and investigators now believe it may have been a thrill shooting.
Veteran officers with Toronto police cannot make sense of what happened in Lawrence Heights. Why did 2 gunmen open fire on 3 innocent people? 31-year-old Abshir Hassan did not survive. Today, colleagues and students at the school where he taught are remembering the young man who touched so many lives. Our crime reporter Tamara Cherry is at the shooting scene on Flemington Road near Lawrence and the Allen in Tamara. Is it possible these gunmen may have just decided to shoot up the neighborhood for a thrill?
It's baffling, Michelle, but that is one of the possibilities that police are looking at. That said, they're eager to hear any ideas that community members around here may have about why this happened. But I can tell you from speaking with residents, local educators and students at Lawrence Heights Middle School today, many people here, most people, are struggling to figure out just why this happened. The street is open, the police tape is down, but life is not back to normal in Lawrence Heights. As homicide investigators worked the scene, mourners gathered at the local school.
He inspired me to do amazing things. I did my master's because of him. He was a star in everything that he did. I actually volunteered at this school because of him.
And I will never forget Abshir Hassan.
Abshir Hassan, 31 years old, gunned down as he went outside to move his car so he wouldn't get a ticket.
He was so dedicated and committed to, working to improve the lives of our young people in this city.
He's a man of action, right? Not just a man of words.
He was mostly like a guidance counselor to us.
Even though he was a teacher whose murder just does not make sense.
As of right now, we have yet to establish a motive.
Hassan and the other 2 victims, a young man and his girlfriend, were at a birthday party. 3 law-abiding, productive members of the community, as police put it. They went outside and they were shot.
At this point, I don't believe any of them were targeted. There's absolutely no motive for the shooting.
So how do you make sense of this? Are there?
We don't.
So what was this? Random, mistaken identity? Incredibly, one of the possibilities investigators are seriously considering is that a couple of guys said something along the lines of, hey, let's go shoot up Lawrence Heights. And this was the result. A beloved teacher, son, brother, friend, dead, and 2 others so badly injured they still haven't been able to talk to police.
This is a crime that we all should be concerned about. These are 3 young people minding their own business, celebrating a birthday party, and were shot.
Back at the school.
You know, I've had my moment of tears, but more than that, I think about him and I just can't help but smile.
Now police hope others will think of him, pick up the phone, and give them a call. So at this point, police believe there were 2 shooters who ran eastbound from the scene. They say there may have been a silver vehicle involved. So what do investigators need from residents here? Well, at this point, they say anything. If you've heard a rumor, a nickname, or a name for somebody who was involved, even if you just heard the sound of gunshots early yesterday morning, homicide investigators would like a call. Reporting live, I'm Tamara Cherry. Bill, over to you.
A Toronto teacher shot and killed near Lawrence and the Allen has been laid to rest this afternoon. For more on this story, let's go live to CP24's Jackie Crandall. So tragic, Jackie.
Very much so, and the impact that 31-year-old Abshir Hassan had on his community, not only the school community within the Toronto District School Board that he taught, but the broader community of Lawrence Heights, certainly felt and seen today inside the mosque where the service was held this afternoon at capacity. Well over 1,000 people here, filling the hallways, spilling out outside as well. People coming to say goodbye to a man who dedicated his entire life really to the betterment of his community. He grew up in Lawrence Heights. He went to school in Toronto, became a teacher, worked at Lawrence Heights as well as a number of other schools within that community, participated in after-school programs. And today we heard from former students, former colleagues, family and friends who, really expressed the loss that they're feeling and that the community is feeling. This is a man who was selfless, who was private, who really made it all about the students. That's what we heard. We spoke with one of his former students. Here's more from him.
I think what we miss most about him is that it's just his personality and his attitude on how he sees things. So even if we go up to him for a situation, he ends up turning it from a negative to a positive. And mostly his wisdom and he's very humble.
During the service, the imam that was presiding over the ceremony asked those present to pray that those responsible for the evil act be brought to justice. Of course, Hassan was shot and killed outside of his home very early on Tuesday morning. He was there for a birthday party. He went outside to move his car, and that is when he and 2 others were shot. The 2 others, an 18-year-old female and a 22-year-old male, remain in hospital. Police haven't spoken with them yet, but I spoke with police this afternoon. They say they still didn't even have a motive for this crime. So senseless and all the more difficult for those who loved Hassan to really make sense of. They say that they're going to have a tree planting ceremony in his honor, that they're going to fund a scholarship in his name. There's also going to be a ceremony or a gathering tonight at the Lawrence Heights Community Center from 6 until 10 o'clock. An opportunity for people to gather and to share memories and to eat a meal and perhaps speak in front of the group. Back to you.
Moving his car. Our John Musselman is at Lawrence Heights Middle School. It's only a 5-minute walk from the scene. So John, Abshir Hassan, we're told, was making a difference in the lives of students and staff at that school.
Well, Ken, he grew up in Lawrence Heights. He knew the streets, he knew the people, he also knew the potential dangers here, and he was on a mission to change that, but that mission ended last night in a hail of bullets. School principal David DeBell fought back tears when he talked about his friend and colleague.
He was beloved by all the students and the parents. If he was supply teaching in their classroom, you could see a cheer. Like if there's a teacher away, I would put his name on the board, Mr. Hassan covering, and the kids would go by, look at it, and they go, yeah, like that.
Abshir Hassan was a supply teacher at Lawrence Heights Middle School. He grew up in this neighborhood, even attended this school as a kid. But students say he was more than a teacher. He was a mentor and a role model.
He was like a brother to me. Like, he always looked out for me. He always told me right from wrong. And he helped me a lot with homework and helped me understand things I never understood.
This woman didn't want to give her name, but she knew Hassan. He taught her 2 daughters. She expressed outrage at this senseless killing.
So I take him. Of all the people, and multiple times, it shows ignorance. These people are coward. They're all coward. Whoever did this is coward. I'm not afraid of talking.
Hassan was from Somalia. He came to Canada as a refugee with his family. He was just a young boy. He went on to York University, earning a degree in psychology. He then went on to Teachers College there. He was currently working on his PhD, and he wrote several papers about young people staying in school. He wanted to help kids. Hassan was also involved with a program called Success Beyond Limits, which mentors young people in marginalized neighborhoods in this city. Chris Penrose is the executive director of the program.
His commitment to youth and commitment to students went way beyond the classroom, but also he was exceptional in the classroom.
Staff and students came to the school today to comfort one another after learning this devastating news. And most schools are closed for the summer break, but Lawrence Heights was reopened today so staff and students could come together in one place to mourn their loss. Reporting live, I'm John Musselman.